Welcome to the world of ENTIFY.
Hi there, and welcome back to Founders Journal. Now today is a big one. I think I've cracked it. This is another world's first. The world's first truly anonymous bank account. Now this is the holy grail. People have been trying to work out how to do this, but it's impossible. You know, the banking system requires your identity. Otherwise you cannot have a bank account. It requires your legal identity, your birth certificate name. So it's a big problem. How do we do this? ENTIFY is private. We're creating our own private identity based on an affidavit, a statement of truth and honesty that we make with our life. But that doesn't count. In the bank, they need your birth certificate name and they need your address, your KYC, know your customer. No matter how we play it, it always goes back to that. They have to know. It can be private, but the bank must at least know. Or know that it has been done. So let me try and explain this to you, how this is going to work, how we can have this. This will be a truly, like I said, truly anonymous, but truly legal, lawful, legit, perfectly compliant, and at the same time, perfectly sovereign. It is crazy. Let me explain. So first of all, you've got to understand this IPC, this International Processing Center. So that we need this. So, and the way it's going to work, this is the world's first 3-layer privacy system for finance. IPC, the International Processing Center, is the public-facing financial service that supports the ENTIFY ecosystem. It provides a safe, legal and simple way for ENTIFY members to access the traditional banking world without exposing their personal identity or private assets. Think of IPC as the bridge between the public world of banks and the private world of ENTIFY. So you need that. So this is the 3-layer system. 1, IPC, the public layer. IPC is a normal, tax-registered, administrative company. It works with banks, payment networks, and card systems like Visa, MasterCard. Members receive an IPC-branded card and account, which they can use anywhere in the world. This is what the outside world sees. In number 2, we have the allodial reserve. This is the private administrative layer. Behind IPC is a private trust system called the allodial reserve. It doesn't hold assets, it simply keeps records and protects the structure of each member's private trust. This layer keeps your personal world private and secure. And then 3, we have ENTIFY Identity Vault, the personal private trust layer. So when you create your ENTIFY identity, you automatically generate a copyright over your biometrics and identity, and a personal private trust that can hold and protect your assets. Your property, your digital assets, ENT tokens and creations can all be attached to the trust. ENTIFY itself doesn't own anything. It is only the operating system that makes all of this work. So how this creates the first anonymous bank account. Because of this structure, banks only see IPC, not your name. IPC represents your private trust lawfully. Your deeds, assets and identity remain protected in the private jurisdiction. You still have full access to the global financial system. You gain both privacy and participation without risk of foreclosure, credit scores or exposure to public debt systems. So why IPC exists? Modern commerce still runs on banks, card machines, fiat currencies and payment networks. ENTIFY members need a way to use these tools without giving up sovereignty and privacy. IPC provides exactly that. In short, IPC, the International Processing Centre, is the public face. The allodial reserve is the private engine. And ENTIFY is the identity operating system. Together they form the world's anonymous, protected and fully functional financial access system built for the sovereign individuals of ENTIFY world. Now, there's a bit more to this. I have to go into a bit more detail. So that's the basic idea. But I had to go further because, again, I've got to go back and forth with ChatGTP and discuss it with experts who know about the law, like Sovereign Pete. So I have to go back and, again, keep confirming, will this actually work in the real world? How can we really say this? And you still can't. You see, the bank still needs KYC. Know your customer. Even if you go through, this trust structure, they need to know the ultimate end person. Someone must know the KYC. That is the legal identity. Your birth certificate name, your address, they have to have it. So we could go as far as creating a secure place for your KYC, but that's still centralized. It's not perfect. But I've cracked it. Again, I had to go back to ChatGTP and said, now let's do this. And it came back to me and said, yeah, all right, that makes it better. And now we can do it. See, the way we do it is the KYC, IPC must collect KYC data in order to have a banking system. But, okay, we can keep that safe, but all IPC needs is evidence that the KYC data exists. So all we have to do is go back to the very beginning, and when we create our identity, our lawful identity, our affidavit, our autograph, conscious biometric, we also add our KYC, our name, our birth certificate, driving license, whatever, your home address, proof of address, whatever. It doesn't matter because it all goes onto your private, personal identity vault, offline. Nobody can get it, not even ENTIFY. Then all that IPC has to do is verify that yes, that KYC exists and you've got a recording of it. It does not need to know what that is. It cannot access the data. It just needs to verify the data exists. Then it is compliant with the banks. The full white paper is on the website. You can watch, look at that, full technical details. But in a bit more simple language, this is the hybrid KYC model. So the KYC is stored in ENTIFY, verified by IPC and owned by the user. You also copyright your KYC when you do this. It's another powerful thing in law. You gain office of the executor of your dead entity corporate identity. That is the birth certificate name. When you do this, you copyright your birth certificate. Now you control it. And your birth certificate works anyway in the legal system, but you've got no control. Now you do. Copyright your KYC. Only you have access to it. But it exists, and IPC verifies it. So this model is legally compliant, privacy maximizing, and technically elegant. This creates a separation of responsibilities. 1. IPC verifies identity for regulatory compliance. 2. ENTIFY stores the identity data for user sovereignty. 3. IPC only keeps a cryptographic proof, not the actual data. It does not have your KYC, only you got it, but it's got proof that it exists because it's on the blockchain. Good enough. That is in the legal system accepted. So IPC only keeps a cryptographic proof, not the actual data. This is fully feasible and has precedent in. It means this already exists. in zero-knowledge KY systems, self-sovereign identity models, W3C decentralized identity standards, verifiable credentials, VCs frameworks, GDPR compliant data minimization strategies, bank grade identity escrow systems. ENTIFY is essentially creating a new category: sovereign KYC escrow. How it works. Step 1. The user uploads identity into the ENTIFY identity vault. This is stored on the ENTICard ENTIPhone using conscious biometric cryptography, affidavit identity, encrypted local vault, offline hardware, and a private trust structure. It's automatic. When you set up your ENTIFY identity, you automatically copyright your biometrics, copyright your KYC, and you also create a lawful and legal private trust structure for all your assets. It's done. Now, IPC cannot open or view this vault. Only the user, via their autograph, can. So that means even if IPC is audited, investigated, all they have to do is provide the cryptographic data. Here's the evidence that the members exist. Here's the cryptographic proof that yes, they have KYC. But we don't have it. The most we can do, the most IPC can do, is contact a member and say, listen, would you please present your information to us? But that's up to you. Nothing else we can do. It's genuinely sovereign. So IPC conducts KYC by verifying the identity on the user's device. IPC never copies the identity documents. Instead, IPC sees proofs. IPC confirms validity. IPC does not retain the documents, and IPC cannot access the vault later or any time. The data never leaves the user's sovereign vault. This is similar to Apple's secure enclave, Fireblocks MPC wallet authentication, zero-knowledge passport verification. Step 3. IPC stores one thing, a cryptographic KYC verified hash. This proves the user passed KYC. Done. Documents existed at the time. Done. Identity is linked to a real living person. Now that's better than any KYC has ever been before. It's not only KYC, it's the best ever KYC. And it just so happens it is perfectly private and sovereign. So on IPC it contains no personal data, cannot reconstruct identity, and the information on IPC is useless to banks, governments or hackers. Even if you hack IPC, nothing you can do with that information. It's useless. The data on IPC is only a compliance artifact confirming that IPC followed the law. It is perfectly, totally compliant. So in case of a regulatory audit, IPC shows regulators its KYC procedure, its cryptographic proofs, and its compliance logs. Totally auditable. It will make a nominal profit, pay a nominal tax, totally compliant, legitimate company. But it has no assets, it's only an administrator. And it never has any identity documents. Again, in case of an audit, it can never show any identity documents because it does not have them. Regulators cannot demand documents IPC does not possess. This is GDPR aligned and legally defensible. So what this means for user privacy: your KYC data exists. It is stored only in your private ENTIFY vault. IPC cannot see it once verification is complete. No bank, government or corporation can ever access it. Regulators cannot demand what IPC does not have. You control your identity at all times. This is the strongest legal and cryptographic privacy model ever created. This is legal, and again I'm asking, is this legal, or is this legally valid? Yes, 100%. In compliance law, this is known as KYC verification without retention, or self-sovereign KYC custody, or customer-controlled identity escrow. Legal precedent exists in Swiss banking identity escrow, German Telesec user-held ID documents, EU EIDDS frameworks, Hong Kong non-custodial KYC pilot programs, zero-knowledge KYC in crypto regulation, blah, blah, blah. IPC simply needs to be able to show that KYC was performed, that the user's documents existed, and that the identity was verified at the time of onboarding. And that is handled all by the cryptographic proofs. So what this enables is the world's first anonymous bank account. The bank only sees IPC, which is a corporate customer, not the individual. What this model enables: number one, the world's first anonymous bank account. Bank only sees IPC, a corporate customer, not the individual. Two, true sovereign identities. Identity belongs to the person, not IPC, not the bank, not the state. Three, maximum safety. Even if IPC is hacked, subpoenaed, raided, or liquidated, there is no customer data to expose. And four, perfect alignment with ENTIFY philosophy. Identity belongs to the living man or woman alone. And yes, you can do this. It's telling me, yes, you can do this. And ENTIFY makes it easy. This is one of the most powerful ideas in the entire ENTIFY ecosystem. We can have an anonymous bank account, all operated from one device: your fiat currency, your crypto, and your private ENT tokens. And once this is running on the proofless meshnet blockchain, nothing anyone can do. Self-sustaining, truly sovereign network. So I hope this made sense. Thanks for bearing with me. This is new, and I wanted to share this breakthrough as soon as possible. And if you want to know, check the website out, the expert white paper on, I think I've called it the IPC alloidial white paper. So we need this IPC public company, and we need the alloidial reserve, this private trust. These are the two things we need. Very clever. And ENTIFY is nothing. ENTIFY is just the operating system. ENTIFY is not a legal entity. ENTIFY is not a financial entity. It's not a corporation. It's nothing. It's an operating system. So that needs no compliance, no regulation, nothing, untouchable. The only thing we need is IPC, a fully compliant, tax-paying company. They cannot complain. And the alloidial reserve private trust. Again, perfectly lawful, perfectly accepted in the legal system, all above board, done. So, thank you so much for listening. Leave me any questions or comments, and stay tuned for the next episode of Founders Journal.
We are the network. We are the key. We are the tribe.